I'm Dr. Dan talking to you from Vitamin Pro, and we're discussing the stomach. Now, people don't even think about the stomach unless it starts to complain, and usually it's some kind of burning sensation. And there are three primary causes of that burning sensation. One is just abuse, and we'll talk about that in just a second. The other is gastric reflux disease, and the other is ulcers. So we'll divide this up into a couple parts. We'll do ulcers next time, but this time we'll discuss mostly gastric reflux. Now, I mentioned abuse. Now, if you go to a state fair, you might find something like deep-fried Twinkies or battered and deep-fried butter, whole cube of butter. Now, for people who eat like that, there's absolutely no hope whatsoever of them ever being healthy. So, but those aren't the people that are looking at these kind of videos. So, but just so you know that, we all, I'm just going to say it out loud because you already know this, but, there's no hope for those people. And what are you going to do? I mean, you got to exercise a little bit of self-control, wouldn't you think? Now, gastric reflux is a signal that gluten sensitivity should be tested for. Now, maybe not everybody who has this GERD is gluten sensitive, but you certainly got to look at it because it's one of the cardinal signs. Now, my father died of this. I was getting some pretty bad gastric reflux before I learned about the gluten and went gluten-free. And my son, I had it too. It started with him in his 30s. Now, with my father, he developed esophageal cancer from all the back up there, and we had no clue about what was going on. So the mechanism seems to be when you eat the gluten, your body creates these antibodies, which causes a whole autoimmune cascade, and part of that attacks the brain stem. Now, the brain stem and the vagal nerve centers are what control digestion. So if you're eating gluten and you're getting this antibody IgG or IgA response, you could very easily develop some gastric problems from that. And there may be some effects at the stomach itself from some of these antibodies, but one thing we do know is that the brainstem vagal nerve activity will be inhibited. So if that's you, you have two choices. You can either get tested with gluten sensitivity, or like a Cyrex Labs or A3, for example, or you can just go gluten-free for a month or two and see what happens. And what happened with my son, he went gluten-free, and then he was at a barbecue, had a couple of sausages that had some wheat filler in it with a couple of beers, and it didn't take him very long to figure out that he was gluten sensitive after the bad reaction he had. So when you get off of gluten, then you add it back in, your body seems to talk to you pretty loudly. So that's a really common sign or common problem with gluten sensitivity. So just be aware of that. If you should get checked out because it could save your life. So in the next video, we'll discuss a little bit about ulcers. So thanks a lot for listening. Hopefully that was helpful.